Hey, before we get started, I want to let you know that when I was a wee cub, my family didn't have a lot of money, so most of my clothes were hand-me-downs from older cousins, etc., like that, because I'm the oldest child, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of them had to be darned by hand by my mom.
Darned?
Yeah, darned. That's when you it's like socks. You get a hole in the sock. You
sew up
seal
the
up the
hole.
hole. It's called darning in the sock.
Oh, okay.
It's a term. It's an old English term. And that made me the best darned kid in the neighborhood.
Oh,
Yeah. And then yesterday, I think I lost a friend here in my neighborhood. See, he was out. He was complaining about all the yard work he had to do, so I offered to give him a hand. He really didn't like it when I just stood there clapping while he worked.
That's not what he was looking for. Okay,
No.
okay.
No.
And speaking of which, I found out that you cannot run through a campsite. You can only ran because it's past tense.
That's true. That is very true.
It's very true.
Mm-hmm. Well, hello, greetings, Sing Chow and Moobarkfluff, and happy Pride to all the creatures in the Potiverse. I am Barely Normal, and welcome to Barely Furcasting featuring Taebyn. With me this week, once again, is our pup with the pop, the dog of destruction, Taebyn. How the fluff are you, Taebyn?
Oh, well, I am okay. I'm great. I'm doing the thing, running around, and it's been great. How are you, Mr. Barely?
Well, it's been a rough week. Rough week. We were notified that my 92-year-old aunt passed on Monday, and so she had
my
Alzheimer's.
uncle passed Monday too.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Almost the same age as well.
yeah,
I'm
and
sad.
so my sisters and I and my dad are the only family that she has left, except for the Dominican order, which is of the nuns. So my sisters and I
thought you were making a Star Trek reference.
No, that would be
That's
the
the
Dominion order.
Dominion order.
Totally
that's
different
right.
order. Yes.
Dominion order of the
Totally
not
different.
nuns. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not nuns. It would have been a very peaceful war if it was just nuns fighting it. They would have been,
I don't know about.
They
I don't
would
know
be
about
having
that.
none
Have you
of
ever
that.
gotten hit by the ruler?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
During
have.
catechism, I got smacked several times, and that
Right.
hurts.
Yeah. Joining us also is Rayne Raccoon. Welcome to the show, Rayne, our co-producer
Hello,
and
everybody.
editor. So,
Moobarkfluff ring.
yeah. So I'm going to be doing
to you too.
a turn and burn next week. Fly into New Jersey, go to New York, do the funeral, turn around and fly home.
Wow.
But
Turn
we got
and
to spend a
burn.
day seeing the cousins while we're there. Some of them might give me clothes. Who knows?
Darn them.
Darn them.
Darn them.
Darn
Yeah, I used to
them.
get hand-me-downs as well, but unfortunately, they were from my female cousins. I did not look good in a sundress.
Did you turn gay that way? Is that what made you gay?
That's how he turned gay.
It very well could be.
He just went
Yes.
gay all of a sudden.
It's gay.
Well,
gay.
There's something about a lovely flowered sundress that just makes you want to spin and sing "The Hills Are Alive" with sound music.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Which is fine as long as you're wearing something underneath it. If you're not, that could be problematic for the neighbors. So
I grew up kind of isolated.
okay.
They couldn't see me.
I grew up kind of isomalted. No, that's totally different. So, Taebyn and Rayne, would you like to recap your furtabulous time at Furlandia? Because you guys are just basically back from Furlandia.
Yes, we just got
we're
back.
just a week. Well, see, we got back
weeks
like
now.
5 days ago, 4 weeks. Well, as of the time this is recording, but yeah, I guess.
Yep.
If you're listening to this on the day it drops, you furs, it's been 2 weeks.
Yes.
Dun dun dun.
But it's only been a week for us.
Yes.
Yes.
This is confusing.
Oh,
Not even
You
a
have
whole
to-
week, though.
You have to talk past tense in the future when we record.
That's
Remember
right, I
that.
keep-
You know,
I keep
Hurts my
forgetting.
brain.
It does. It hurts. It's a hurtful cow.
it's a hurtful. The hurtful cow. Oh, that's going to be our next sticker. The hurtful
The
cow.
hurtful cow. Yes. Nice.
So tell us all about Furlandia. How was it? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it decent? Was it?
Oh, it was so
just,
good. It was
just
great.
mellow.
So good. It was a really good con this year.
Yes, it really was. It's and the chair said, and I mean, of course, chairs always say this, but I think it's actually true that the chair of the con, not like the thing we're sitting in, always say that he thinks it's like the best one. So the con chair this year was one of the original founders, or original staff people, I forget. But in 2013, when Furlandia started, he was one of the original help organizers and everything like that. And so now he's back to not back to, but he's con chair this year. And so he's been around Furlandia for quite a while. And he said he thinks it's probably one of the best Furlandias they've had. And I mean, I've only been going to Furlandia since 2016, but it was a pretty good year this year, I think.
It was better than the first year for me because I went 2019 and it was okay. But I didn't stay for all the dances and stuff. I didn't know. That was my first time going to a con, so I was kind of a little bit, shy about the whole thing. So yeah, and this year it was so good.
Well, and you DJ'd.
I did. I had a really good set. Everybody danced like crazy. Taebyn bowed out after about 10 songs.
Oh,
you had some long songs at
I
first,
did.
though.
I like long dance songs, and then TikTok made it through the entire set.
Nice.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, TikTok is a machine. Shout out to TikTok.
Shout out TikTok. We love you, TikTok.
Yes. And I helped Taebyn with the Dancey Comp.
Oh.
Yeah. I actually got a very nice thank you from Glacier.
And who's Glacier?
The dance comp organizer.
Glacier's the dance comp organizer and one of the judges. They made it a point to find me on Telegram and send me a thank you note for helping Taebyn organize all the dancers.
Aw, that's sweet.
That was sweet. It's considering that Taebyn kind of voluntold me I was doing it and I was asleep.
That's fine. I'm sure if I was there, I would have been helping as well. But what did you get to go to any panels? I'm talking to Rayne right now, and then we'll talk to Taebyn about it. But did you get to go to any panels at all?
Yeah, I went to Taebyn Sings Weird Al, and I went.
Did you go to any panels that were not Taebyn centric?
No. Why would I go to any panels that aren't Taebyn centric?
I don't know, because sometimes they're fun.
No, I really didn't have the time. But between DJing and making sure everything was perfect for Taebyn's panels, I just kind of was not available to go to other stuff. But I did get out and fursuit around a couple of times without the pup. When I had a few moments to, here or there to just get in suit and go run around and play silly raccoon.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
No, and Tatsu was there, right, Taebyn?
Yes, Tatsu was there. He was with me.
Yes.
Pretty much all the time.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah,
All right.
no, it's good
And
stuff.
Taebyn?
I was there. I can confirm.
All right. Well, and Taebyn, how was your con experience?
It was really, really good. Really busy, as barely. You and Rayne both know I'm pretty busy. I help keep you both pretty busy at cons too, so that's my fault. So as you know, I was pretty busy. It's really good. I had Taebyn Sings Weird Al, which went really well. There were, I think, 60 furs that showed up.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
It was a packed room.
And
people were sitting on the floor. It was crazy.
Every fur had a really good time. Then I did, of course, my story time. There were about 50 furs, I think, at my story time. Every fur had a really good time there too.
Nice.
I emceed the dance comp, which was
very cool.
Which was cool and lots of fun. I felt that I was a little bit off my pun game, or that evening. Some furs came up to me and said that, like, every single one of my jokes was awesome or something. It's like, oh, okay, I guess it was okay. That was really nice of them to say. Maybe they're just trying to be nice.
They weren't that bad.
They weren't that bad.
They weren't that bad.
They were, I don't know. I survived anyway. No, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of good stuff. It was a really good dance comp. Yeah, did that stuff. And then, did the dances and everything that I normally do. And
what was the theme?
The theme was your character here.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
And we were all guest of honors.
Every single fur was a guest of honor. So
that's nice. Makes it easy.
It does. The thing, I think I read on the website, it's like, something about, I'm trying to remember, something about every fur is a guest of honor. So we want you here because your character here. And that's why it's the theme, because we want the guest of honor. Anyway, it was fun and silly and all that stuff. But it was really good. It's really good.
Are we going to reveal next year's theme to everybody?
Well, if they put it out at the con, go ahead.
We should.
Yeah. We should, because you need to do it, and you need to do it in that special, that special way that only you can do it.
Okay,
because this theme is kind of Taebyn-esque.
Oh no!
So yes. So next year's theme for Furlandia 2024 is Fur is in space.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And they're like the Mandalorian group is
Mhm.
supposed to come in,
You'll be
and
showing people how to make Mandalorian armor if you want to learn how to
Mandalorian,
make your
and
own.
though
Nice.
apparently the hotel has volunteered their own at their own expense to
Mm-hmm.
decorate the hotel
Mm-hmm.
for
And
the con
space
theme
theme.
and stuff.
Yeah,
So
Nice.
space theme, yes. And so it'll be every genre of space, fandom. They're doing
Wow.
Star Wars, Star Trek, The Expanse, Firefly. You just come as your favorite, genre
yeah, it
of
sounds
sci-fi.
pretty cool. Sounds pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. So every fur, do it. Furlandia 2024. It's a really it's a that's what I'm saying. It's a really good con. And this year they had, I think, what was it? Little more than 1,000
Mhm.
participants, which
Okay.
is pretty good. It's their second. I think their biggest was 11,000. 11,000.
11,000? Really? Wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah, that's the Sheridan
be a
was
big
pretty
one.
packed. No,
Yeah.
they had 1,100 back in 2019, and so this was their second biggest. So it was pretty good. It's pretty good size.
yeah.
It's good stuff.
So I can go dressed as one of the underlings from Galaxy Quest. You're
Yes.
by your command.
Yes.
you,
Yes.
you definitely could. You definitely could.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We are
yeah.
having fun.
I forgot about Galaxy Quest. How could I forget about Galaxy Quest?
I don't know. How could you, Rayne? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
a
know.
great
And,
movie.
So Taebyn, I need to ask you, did you meet somebody that we had on our show at some point?
Yes, actually, too. Thank you.
Several
'Cause
somebody.
I almost
Mhm.
forgot. Misha B. Barkin was there, and so we saw him. And of course,
Mhm.
TikTok. And
I got to
also,
hug Misha.
Oh, good for you.
and we went in the dealer stand. We were looking around and everything, and we went to the one particular booth that had a bunch of books and everything, and we're looking, and there's this book entitled "It's Your Cow," and of course, I had a
Of course,
look
you
at
had
and
to.
everything.
Yes.
And Tatsu, my honey, was there with, and he's like, "I think you have to have this, don't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, probably." So he bought it for me, and it's a whole bunch of furry short stories. And so I might actually read one. Well, it might have to go in several parts, but I might read one on the show in the future. So anyway, I'm talking about this, and the fur that is selling and telling us about this and stuff. I mentioned, well, maybe I'll read one of these stories on our podcast. I said to him, and he's like,
Mhm.
well, you might want to ask them first, but I'm totally okay if you do that. And I'm like, oh, who are you? And
Uh-huh.
it turns out that it's Ian Madison Keller who has been on the show, and I didn't even
Ah.
realize who it was. And then I'm like, well, oh wait, I know you. You've been on our show. Did you know you've been on our show? It's like, yeah, I remember. It's like, yeah, I didn't. Did you recognize me? It's like, yeah, I know who you're talking to. It's like, what? It was such a journey for me, like to make the connection that I'd been talking to him for like 10 minutes now. I'm like, oh wait, I know who you are.
Ah.
It's really
In Pup's
interesting.
defense, Ian did have a mask on, so
Oh,
it was not
okay.
easy to tell who he was. And
But
with
still,
first,
it was
with our limited vision that
Mhm.
us furs have,
Mhm.
it's not always easy to read the author's name on a book
Oh,
because it's not
sure.
as big as the title,
Right. Yeah.
But so Ian has a short story in there anyway, and so maybe I'll read that on the show
Yeah,
sometime.
that'd
Anyway,
be
so
great.
Ian, if you ever listen to this here, hi again. It was good to
Hi
see
again.
you.
Yes.
Bark, bark.
Back,
And
as they say
I
on the
wanna-
East Coast. Back.
Yeah.
You know, when I come back, I'm going to sound like an East Coaster again.
oh yeah,
my
yeah.
my accent's going to be back. No, that's Boston.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's Boston. Yeah,
that's
you're
Boston.
right. I've been listening
Yeah.
to the Morbid podcast. Sorry.
So, Taebyn,
Uh,
anybody else did you meet that's been on the show? Because
I met
Rayne
Rayne
said
there.
there was two. Rayne said there was two.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Well,
You
there's
met me there.
Misha and Ian and TikTok
Right.
Mhm.
and Rayne,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Tatsu,
And you.
Mhm.
And
Tatsu.
me.
Yes. Yeah.
You.
me. I've been on the show before, right?
You have been on the
Yes.
show before, at least once.
And we
Uh,
met
At least
several
once.
fans of the show.
Good.
Yes.
I feel like there was some for else too.
Yeah.
Can't
I did see an uptick in downloads on Saturday of the
Ah,
con, which
we
was
we
nice.
promoted
So-
We were
good.
promoting hard.
at both my panels. I made sure to mention, and the pod and gave out, my little business card thingies that have the
Mhm.
QR code on the back and told them about
Nice.
that.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
So,
All right.
and we did a pup at the con thing too.
You did.
Yes.
And in fact, unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about, we can go ahead and listen to the people you talked to.
I do have one thing. I want to give a special shout out to Catton for buying me a very cute little raccoon thing. So thank you, Catton. Fan of the
Catton.
show, friend of the show. We love you.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah.
All right.
Friend of the
Well,
pod.
let's hear Taebyn is visiting with some people at the con.
Bark, bark. There. How would you like to be on a podcast? Okay, we got an approval. Yes. Yes. Oh, you're Bunners. I've seen you on the chat and stuff. Hi. My name's Taebyn. Anyway, hi. You too. Okay, so hi there.
Hi,
And what is your name?
my name's Jacko.
Yay! My name's Taebyn. I'm a puppet bark bark. And I would like to ask you some questions. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, really excited.
Wow, we're excited. This is so exciting. Every person say yay. Okay, good. Yeah, we're excited about asking questions. Is what's happening here. It's like, why are they excited? So how's your Furlandia been going for you?
Oh, it's been really awesome. This is the first con I've been to, so it's been a really great experience.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, Furlandia is a really great con. Furlandia was my first con back in 2016. I'm an old pup now. But yeah, no, it's a really great one. So what have you been doing here at Furlandia?
I've been meeting up with friends, going to panels, taking pictures with fursuiters. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Did you go to the dance comp last night?
Oh yeah. I danced for like 2 hours last night and the night before.
Well, I meant the dance. So yes, that, you did the dances. So so you did the dances, and that was fun and great. And the dance competition, did you go to that?
Oh yes, that was awesome.
It was really great. Say it again.
Great moves, by the way.
Oh, from me? Who? Yeah, oh, thank you, yay! Every person say yay!
Yay!
Yay! That's another one there. Great, so very important question. I think you already heard it, so you might know it's coming, but I'm gonna ask you. So you have a dishwasher thingy, that's a thingy that washes dishes.
Yes.
Yes, and there's a little tray holdy place where you can put silverware in and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so you can either put on the silverware the pokey sides up or the pokey sides down. Which is your preference?
Oh, always put the pokey sides down because then when you grab them out, you grab the handles instead.
Instead of the pokey.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a very. This is actually a very controversial subject, you see. So thank you for your wise words and thoughts on that.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah. we like to preserve the fur. Yeah. So what last words do you have for our listeners out in the furries area?
Be fluffy.
Yes. Wise words. Thank you so much. You heard it right here from, your name again was?
Jacko.
Yay, Jacko. Every first say yay. Okay. Hi, friend of yours. Are you recording?
We're recording.
Oh, we're recording. I learned that I first have to ask, would it be okay with you if I ask you things and then whatever you say goes on our podcast?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. More yay. Every first say yay. Good. So, what is your name?
Linko de Mayo.
Okay. And what is your name?
It's Jinx.
It sure is. Look at that. I feel like I said the same thing as you just now. Because Jinx and... Okay, that was really dumb. Do that courtesy laugh thing you just did again. Yeah! Yeah. That I get that quite often, actually. So, how's your Furlandia going for you this fine day?
Oh, it's fantastic.
I am so tired, but I'm pulling through. I'm having a great time.
Nice. Have you been to cons before? Have you been to Furlandia before?
This is probably my 4th Furlandia, but my 16th con.
And I've been here since 2016.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's amazing because 2016 was my first Furlandia. Well, my first con ever, actually. So that's very exciting. So what have you been doing? Have you been doing the dances, going to panels?
Oh yeah, I've been just going to panels and meeting new friends.
Nice. And?
A little bit of everything.
Nice. I mean, that's kind of what you can do with these wonderful things. Okay, so last important question, which you've already heard, but I'm going to ask you as if you hadn't heard it. So pretend you haven't already heard this.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I have consent. So you have a dishwasher, right? Yeah, that's a thingy that washes dishes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those things.
Those things. And then there's this little tray thing with little hole things in it where you can put the silverware.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes. So we have, and now, so there are two options. You can either put the silverware in with the pokey side up or the pokey side down. What is your preference?
Oh, I gotta put them down.
Put them down.
Yep.
Yeah, because then you don't pokey when you try and get it right. How about you?
Definitely sharp sides down because I've stabbed myself, so lesson learned. Between me and my boyfriend for the longest time, because he always did sharps up, and I always would tell him sharps down, and then one day I stabbed myself. I was like, see, I told ya.
Told you. Exact. No, let's do it.
What's worse is people that mix them, so some are up, some are down.
Oh, do people do that? That is hurting me. Oh.
Yeah, it's happened before.
Well, I think I'm gonna have nightmares tonight because that's just I can't. That disorganization hurts this puppy's brain. Well, thank you so much for participating in this pup at the con thing we're doing, and have a good rest of your con.
Yeah, have a good one. Thanks.
You too.
Yay, bark. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Nice, yeah, that's very good. So here we are at Furlandia, and your name is
Anastasia?
Anastasia. Did I say that right?
Anastasia.
I did it. I'm so proud of myself. And here we are doing a Pup at the Con thing, just a little thing where we're just gonna say hi and talk to you for a few minutes, and so that you can let all our listeners know what you think about Furlandia and things like that. So, I guess the question is, what do you think about Furlandia?
I love it. I've been coming since 2017. It's my most favorite local con.
Nice. Oh, good. Local cons are great. Furlandia's always been special and good to me too. My first con ever actually was Furlandia 2016. So we've been kind of going at all the time at the same time. All the time at the same time. We have. Do you go to other cons?
Yeah, I usually hit the local Rose City Comic Con. KomoriCon was my first ever convention in 2008, but I still occasionally go back to that one. Mostly local stuff. I don't really like to fly out.
Yeah, I mean, travel is kind of a lot of work and stuff. Cool. But so you've been having a good time at Furlandia. What all have you been doing?
Oh, it's been a great time. I love going to the dealer's den and supporting the artists. And, seeing all the great suits everybody's either made or commissioned, and, just wandering around, kind of mostly a lurker. I am by myself here.
Oh, well, I give you a hug. So for all you listeners, you can't see this, but I'm giving Anastasia a hug for being a lurker and alone. I'm so sorry you're alone.
It's okay. I have lots of friends with, different interests. There's a lot of anime friends, a lot of comic book friends, but they're just not quite furries. And, even though they know it's like, yeah, it's cool, it's just not their interest.
It's not their thing, definitely. I know there's a few. I talked to some others here that aren't furries, and they're just like hanging out and having fun too. So, it's a great place. Furlandia's this great thing. So, tell us, what do you do when you're not at a FurCon?
I work full-time making CBD and THC gummies, but in my free time I make art illustrations, and this is my third fursuit head I've made. I just do that, for fun.
Very nice, very nice. Have you thought about commissioning?
Like commissioning another artist, or?
or like having others commission you? Like, do you sell your products?
I've thought about selling like pre-mades possibly, but I also worked retail for 6 years. Customer service is very hard on the mind, so I don't know.
Indeed. Well, if you ever do decide, let us know, and we'll talk about you on our podcast and everything. So make sure to remember my name is Taebyn. I'm a pup. It turns out. So, last question, which is very, very important. Are you ready for this one?
Yes.
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 Hello.
Hello.
Yes. So, there are these dishwasher thingies, right? They're thingies that wash dishes.
Yes, I know.
Okay, good. We are in the same century. That's great. And most of them have a little tray thingy with holes that you put the silverware in.
Yes.
And so, there are two options. You can either put the silverware in with the pokies up or the pokies down. What is your preference?
Definitely down.
That seems to be the common. This is actually controversial, but for today it said down. So, what is your reasoning for wanting them down?
Just in general, when I have the tray open, like if somebody were to slip in the kitchen and fall onto the tray, I would want the knives to be pointed down. That way they only get maybe bruised and not stabbed.
There is a certain logic to that. You're very, very smart. Great. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to talk to us today, and we'll have a good rest of your con, and we'll see you around.
Okay, it's been good talking to you too.
Thank you. You too. Bye. Oh, one last thing. What words of wisdom do you have for all our listeners out in the Podiverse?
Stay creative.
Stay creative. Yes, don't get bogged down and narrow-minded. Be creative. Very, very good. Well, once again, thank you very much, and we'll see you around.
Okay, thank you for your time.
No problem. Yay! I'm giving her, so all you listeners know, I'm giving a hug. Okay, we go bye-bye now.
Okay. Well, Taebyn, I love how you interact with people there. It's like you like turn around and say, every first say yay, and they're like, why are we saying yay? What's going on? I don't understand.
So many furs were confused.
At closing ceremonies, we're all just waiting out there for the doors to open, and I did that a bunch. It's like every first say yay, and they did. They had no idea what's going on, but there's this big doggy saying, "So okay."
Well, the furs are nothing if not followers. They will do anything you tell them. I mean,
I am mostly border collie, so it does make sense that they should do that.
He likes to herd. Yes.
Yeah.
I heard that.
I think you know what? I think someday when we're all at a con somewhere, we should just play a joke on everybody and just get like 20 furs together and just line up somewhere in front of a door and see how many people line up behind us.
I mean, if there's if there's only two lined up, that might or might not. But there's three of us. They'll do it.
But if we get like 10 other furs to line up behind us, and then as people start lining up for it, we would just filter away and go away and see how long it stays there.
That's so.
Oh my goodness!
Nice. I like it.
And then you can go around and interview them, Taebyn, and say, so what are you waiting in line for?
What are you waiting for? Oh, I want to do this. I totally want to do this. And like, what are you waiting for? We'd love to know. It looks exciting.
It's like, I don't know. There was a queue here, so I just stood in line. I figured something was going to happen. There's a lot of people interested, so I thought I would stand in line here. Anyway.
And one other thing that happened at Furlandia, I don't know, I just remember this, but so on, I think it was Friday, we were wandering around, and some furs came up and gave me this rock. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Don't know why. It was a nondescript rock, really, that had a little painting picture of C3P or R2D2 on the back. Like, okay, fine. What is this? And they're like, so it turned out it was like an unspoken little game thing. And like, what you do is you take a designated rock and you hide it somewhere. And then someone, not in too hard of a place to find, but not too obvious. And so someone else, when they find it, they give it to someone else, and then they hide
Have
it,
to hide
and it
it.
goes on like that. And the thing is, no one, like, there's no rules or anything posted. Like, there's nothing at the con or anything that says people are doing this. This is just an
Something to do.
unspoken game.
Yeah.
So anyway, I took it.
Did you take it home?
Well, hold on, because so Tatsu took it and hid it more or less in plain sight, like it's by a plant and everything. And so every day we check and yep, it's still there. And my honey said on like Saturday afternoon says, if it's still there at the end of the con, I'm going to take it as a memento. And sure enough, Sunday afternoon before closing ceremonies, it was still there. So he took it, and we now have it at home as a memento.
See, we should do that with little cards around there. It says, bring this to Taebyn for a prize.
There you go.
And the prize will be a hug.
So, and every fur will be so surprised by that prize. Definitely.
Yes.
Like, I did not expect that from Taebyn. I like it. I like these ideas. Let's remember
I know.
these.
Of course, now people are going to listen to the podcast, and then, a year from now, they go, I remember you talking about that in your podcast. I'm like, well, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Well, before we get to media, I see on our show notes that you have something you want to share with us, Taebyn.
I do. I'm so glad that you're here to help me remember all this stuff, because even though it's like in the notes there. Oh,
yes.
In fact, one thing I forgot to say that is not what you're looking at now. So I have two things to say.
Okay.
I have three things. I have four things. I have five. Oh my Lord. I have
Wow.
Oh my cow. I am so behind. Oh my cow. Okay. I have a bunch of things to say now.
Well, all right. Let's hear them.
I love how you said that. Like, okay, Taebyn. So first thing is Happy Pride Month. Yay.
Yes.
And then cannibalism every first almost tired fun. So of course that's from Moobarkfluff. I met Moobarkfluff at Furlandia though.
Okay. If I had met him, I would have slapped him.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Exactly. They'd be like, what are you doing? Oh, you know why. He did actually tell me that he actually said this later. He wanted to let me know that he did some research and he found the etymological history of OMC, actually.
Okay.
And I did not know this. I guess it's true. I don't know. I haven't checked it out. It actually dates back to ancient Rome in 45 BC, where it was first uttered by Julius Caesar, who was a hopeless romantic. His last words were actually supposed to be, "Oh my Calpurnia," but he died in the middle of saying it. And so people have been saying, "Oh my cow" ever since.
Oh, all
so
right.
this is a very little known his famous last words. Apparently, his famous last words are thought to be "Et tu brute," but it was actually made up by Brutus. So now we know. So thank you. Shout out to Moobarkfluff for informing us right there.
Nice.
Very, very. CEUs.
CCUs. Those CEs are oozing all over.
All over.
Over.
So two more things. Something in the news, kind of a scientific thing, I guess. A chemist actually froze himself. This happened, I don't know, a month ago or something. He froze himself to negative 273.15 degrees Celsius. Everyone said he was like totally crazy for doing this, but it turned out that he was okay.
I don't get it.
It turned out that he was okay.
Okay. I don't get it.
I'll give you a few more seconds.
It's okay.
So negative 273.15 degrees Celsius is 0 kelvins. So it turned out he was okay. It was okay. That was a scientific thing.
Scientific joke.
Okay, so my other thing, I'm going to.
All of the scientists that listen are going, "Oh, that's pretty funny." Ha ha.
All one of them. Yeah.
That's so droll. So droll. So top drawer.
So top. So the last thing I have to say is, I have a joke.
Oh, I thought you just told one.
I have another one.
Oh, okay.
I
better?
told it. I don't actually know what you would call what I just told. It was not okay though. Let me
It
tell
was
you.
not okay.
Not okay. It was more like 270 degrees Celsius.
Mm. It was hot.
So a young girl who was writing a paper for school came to her father and said, "Dad, what is the difference between anger and exasperation?" And the father replied, "Well, listen to the podcast, barely Furcasting, and no, really,
You will be angry and exasperated.
and
Yes.
all at the same time." He said,
And
"It's
confused.
mostly a matter of degree. Let me show you what I mean." So the father went to the phone and dialed a random number and wrote it down to remember what the number was, but he dialed a random number.
Mhm.
The man who answered the phone on the other side, and the dad said, "Hello, is Melvin there?" The man answered, "There is no one living here named Melvin. Why don't you learn to look up numbers before you dial?" Hung up. "See," said the father to his daughter, "that man was not a bit happy with our call. He was probably very busy with something, and so we annoyed him. Now watch this again." So he dialed the number again and said, "Hello, is Melvin there?" And "Now look here," a voice said at the other end. "You've got a lot of guts calling again." The receiver slammed down. And the father turned to his daughter and said, "You see, that was anger. Now I'll show you what exasperation means." So the father dialed the number again, and when a violent voice roared back, "Hello!" The father calmly said, "Hello, this is Melvin. Have there been any calls for me?" And there it is. There it is.
There it is. Yep.
That's actually pretty good.
I like that. That's cute. That was cute.
Yeah, I did it. It was better than okay. It was negative 100 degrees Celsius, we'll say.
There you go. Negative 100 degrees. Well, let's get into our media section. And Taebyn, I'm going to let you go first.
Oh my cow, this is crazy time.
No, oh my Calpurnian.
Oh my Calpurnian.
Yes.
This is crazy time. That's right. Let's not forget. But with Furlandia and everything, it's been pretty non-exciting. I've been watching South Park Furlandia still. We're still in the middle of watching season 3 Big Bang Theory. And we're almost done with watching Sweet Tooth season 1. I think you remember we've been watching that
Sweet
Netflix
Tooth.
shows. Yeah, it's a really good show.
Mhm.
I've been playing Bloons still, Beat Saber a little bit, and that's really about it. Nothing much. That's it.
Okay. All right.
And how about you, Mr. Burley?
Well, let's see. I'm going to ask Rayne what he's been watching first before I get into my stuff.
Oh wow, this is
pretty much the
exciting.
same thing. I have been so busy with Furlandia stuff and helping Pup and getting my DJ set ready. I have not really indulged in much media lately. I've been reading, but nothing of great consequence.
All right. All right. Well, I went over to my friend's house last Saturday for my standard movie night with my buddy, and we watched
Nice.
John Wick 4.
Oh, that's
How was
right.
it?
There's a fourth one out. That's exciting. How is
Yeah,
it?
there's a fourth one out. It's good. It's good. However, there's a lot of exposition in this movie.
Is there as much as in House of Dragon? I hope there's not that much.
Well, the first 40 minutes, you don't even see John Wick. So that gives you an
really?
idea. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, he's
Wow.
right at the beginning, but then he disappears
And he's gone.
because, he's no spoilers, but he's punching something. Surprise, surprise. And a guy walks in and says, "Are you ready, Mr. Wick?" And then they cut. And for the next 40 minutes, there's other
they're doing
stuff.
background or stuff.
They're doing
Yeah,
background
okay.
stuff. It's good.
Yeah.
And it is the final John Wick,
Okay.
allegedly, with air
Unless-
quotes,
Unless there's more money.
because at the end, he may or may not have died. You don't really know for sure. I mean, yeah, he was beat to heck, but he just kind of lays down and they cut to black. So you don't know whether he actually survived or whether that was his death scene, because it wasn't like So
I like at the end of the season 9 of 24. Maybe it was season 8. Anyway, yeah. Hi.
Oh, see, that's the other thing I need to start watching is 24. I keep forgetting to watch that.
Yeah.
So many things. So many things.
So many things. Let's see.
But
I
that's
also,
cool. I'll be looking forward to watching that again because I really like that show. Yeah.
Yeah, I started watching Rick and Morty again from season 1, which
Wow.
Excellent.
I thought would be longer, but I keep forgetting that there's only 5 seasons and they're only like 8 or 9 episodes per season. So
yeah, and they're
It's
not
going
very
pretty
long.
fast. Okay.
and they're not very long. They're, with no commercials, they're maybe 17, 18 minutes long when you look
really?
at
I
it.
didn't realize
So-
that was that
Yeah.
short.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
an
I have,
easy watch.
I have a Hulu Plus, so it's just like boom, boom, boom. So there we go. I also started watching on the Guy Fieri network, or otherwise known as the Food Network. It used to be the Bobby Flay network because every time you turned it on, there was something from Bobby Flay. Now every time you turn it on, there's something from Guy Fieri.
Guy finally
And
beat
remind me which is the one you hate?
Bobby Flay.
Bobby.
Okay,
Everybody
so
hates
you're
Bobby
better
Flay.
with this. You're
Yeah,
Don't
I-
go
I
to a
agree.
Bobby Flay restaurant because they serve tiny portions for exorbitant amounts of money.
Yes.
exorbitant.
Yes. And so I started watching this show called Guy's Ranch Kitchen, and it's a loosely produced show where he brings some of the chefs that do judging on his other shows and stuff to his ranch in California, and they cook and have a good time and
And they
make
judge
cocktails
chicken.
and kind of stuff like that. So yeah, so there we go. So there's a little known fact about Guy, and the thing is, it's spelled. His last name is Fieri.
Mhm,
Fieri.
mhm.
And when you listen to him on the show and you listen to the other people, they always say Guy Fieri, with a T or a D
Yeah.
sound.
Mhm.
And it's like, what? But it's an R.
Yeah.
So I looked it up today because I was curious. And his last name until
Or cutious, as the
1995.
case may be.
Yes. His cutious. I'm not curious. I'm cutious. Yes.
Yes.
It's my Roman name, Cutius.
Cutious, yes, Sir Cutious. And the Knights of the Town's Table.
Right. So in 1995, up till that time, his name was Ferry, Ferry. And when he got married, he changed it to Fieri. Now, it's spelled Fieri, but in Italian, the way you pronounce your R's, it sounds like a T or a D.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, because in American English, when we say R, we leave our tongue flat. Italians roll their R, and so it always sounds like Fieri. Fieri.
Ah.
So that's how that came about.
Well,
There you go.
CEU. Ooh.
Yes,
More
yes,
ooey.
earned. More ooey. More CUEs.
Yeah, and his son is gorgeous. I don't know if you've seen his son,
Which one?
the oldest.
The tall, skinny, lanky guy?
Yes.
Well, okay.
Well, he used to be gorgeous. I haven't seen him in a while. I mean, he was gorgeous when he turned 18.
Yeah, he's not so gorgeous anymore.
Oh, what a shame.
He might get gorgeous as time goes on, but okay. So a couple of weeks ago, I talked about this book, The Book of Useless Information, and as I was closing
yes.
it, I found a place on the back
Oh, yeah.
that had British terms and American terms. And so I thought we'd play a little game,
Okay.
and I'm going to
Hey.
say to both of you the British term, and you guys have to decide what the American term, what it means in American.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm excited.
All right. So the first one, they're in alphabetical order, is bureau. Taebyn, what do you think bureau is?
I would say it's an office.
Okay. Rayne,
I would say it's a chest of drawers.
you are both wrong. It is a ballpoint pen.
It's a ballpoint pen?
Yes.
Well,
So if you ask for a bureau, it's a ballpoint pen.
Okay.
All right.
If you're not like in Britain, if you're like an American asks for one, it's like they hand you this big, huge piece of furniture. It's like, no, I can't
Yeah.
write with that.
That's right. It's spelled BIRO, not bureau, but bureau.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so-
BIRO. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, the next one is a bog roll.
Pug
I know
roll.
this one.
Well, I'm gonna guess it's like a fruit roll up, but it's like comes from the swamp, and that's why it's a bog roll.
No,
No, it's toilet paper.
it is toilet paper. Yep.
Okay.
One for me.
I don't know if you I'm not okay. I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
Okay.
That was
No, okay.
no.
Give me a score. Okay. The next one is a brawly.
Oh, I know this one too.
Is that when like
You're stretching. You're going. I know you're going.
okay,
Where are you
okay.
going to go?
okay?
Puppy logic.
So, okay, so my puppy logic says it's like when you have a clothing company, right? By a certain high class name, and they
Mhm.
sell women's clothes, and that then a women go and they buy a bra Lee because Lee
Oh.
is in it, a famous brand.
No, sorry.
Nope, nope.
Rain, what's your guess?
A brolly is an umbrella.
You are correct.
Really?
It is an umbrella.
That's really
yes.
cute. That's actually
Yes.
adorable.
It's like, bring me my brawly.
Brawly,
Yeah. All right. The next one
and it was on the telly.
is a bum bag.
A bum bag. That's
bag.
when you go work out at a gym, you put your gym clothes in there.
Nope.
Oh.
That would be what we call a fanny pack, but they don't call it a fanny pack in England because fanny means something entirely different on the
yes.
other side for
Mhm.
a female.
Of America.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other side of America.
Yeah. All right.
Fanny.
The next.
So there are lots of fannies in like New Jersey.
Yes.
There are lots of fannies all
Lots
around
of
the
them.
world.
Wow.
There's lots of
okay.
fannies on the Jersey Shore.
So
Yes.
It's not okay. But it's not just has to be the other side of America. Okay.
All right. You both
No,
might
the
know
other
this.
side of the body
yes.
on females.
The other side of the body on the females, not the bum.
Opposite of the
Kneecap.
bum.
They
The
have a
opposite of the
kneecap.
bum. They have a
Yes,
kneecap.
the kneecaps. Yes.
All right. The next word is candy floss.
Candy floss. Well, I'm gonna guess it's when your candy ate too much of itself, and so you have to floss, or it has to floss.
No.
Nope.
Rain,
That
do you know
would-
this one too?
Yes, that would be cotton candy.
It would. It would indeed be cotton candy. Okay, Taebyn, I'm going to give you this one.
Okay.
Okay. So, a chip. Most of the time it comes with fish and chips. So, what is a chip in Britain?
It's a French fry.
Yes,
Yay,
very good.
I got one. Woo!
Yay! All right, our next one. And if you think about this with puppy logic, you might know what it is, Taebyn.
Okay. I try.
Cling film.
Well, that has to be. Yeah, that's got to. I mean, the saran wrap.
Absolutely correct.
Yay!
That is correct.
Okay.
I guessed and I did it.
Okay. Neither one of you are going to get this one, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Oh my cow!
Courgette.
Do that again.
Courgette.
Courgette.
Mhm.
Courgette. So it's like courgette. So it's like you have a corgi, and it has
Damn
to
it, that's
get
what I was going to say.
a ball.
Mhm.
So when you're playing fetch with your little corgi, you throw the ball and you say courgette.
I'm going to give this one to him because I think that's right. That's what I was going to say.
No, a courgette is a zucchini.
I would not.
Dang it.
Not what I would have.
Yeah.
No.
Now, and we're gonna give Taebyn a clue on this one. A crisp.
Oh, potato chip.
Yes, very good potato
I
chip.
only know that because of Faulty Towers.
Okay. Well, it's 4-3. Rain is in the lead.
Oh my cow!
Okay, so this next one, drafts, not giraffes, and not drafts like a document,
Like okay.
but drafts as DRAUGHTS, drafts.
I know this one.
Trough.
Okay.
Is that
It's a game.
okay? That is not what I was thinking. So
Oh,
that helps.
That's not what I
okay.
was thinking either.
It's shoot.
Can I call a
Is
friend?
that when you have the little? It's got okay. No, I know which game it is. It's the game where you have the little fun, pretty chippy thingies, and you do that, and it has to go in the little cup. Oh, Tiddlywinks.
Ooh, no.
Oh,
I thought it was a drink because that's what a draw is.
Well, that's what a draft is in America. Yes, a
Yeah.
draft beer. No, this is checkers
Oh,
really? Why did they
Drafts.
do that?
because they're British.
Oh, because
that's
the
why.
penguin's on the telly.
That's right.
Yes. What's he doing on the telly?
Standing. All right.
Strange
that penguin
so
being
this
there, isn't
this
it?
reminded so that was fun. That was very cool. This reminded me of because Rayne knew a few things that are like crazy trivia, and that reminded me of a trivia thing at Furlandia that happened. So we had pretzels, and I don't even remember exactly what I said.
I remember.
that brought it up. So maybe Rayne, you might remember exactly how it came up.
It was
Rayne knew
because
this crazy.
Yeah, so it was because the pretzels that you had weren't called pretzels; they were called twists.
That's right. Yeah.
And were they rolled gold that you
They
had?
were rolled gold, and,
yeah.
and we were thinking that like,
And they were just
why are
called
they called twists
twists?
and not
And I told him,
pretzels? Because
they were originally called pretzels because when they were invented by monks, and they were a treat, and so they were crossed, and prezziola is the word for praying. And so that's kind of, they look like somebody with their arms crossed praying, and so that's where the name pretzel came from, is prezziola.
and me and my honey were like looked at each other and like, why and how do you even know that? What is going on? Now, Barely, I understand why you would know that because you seminary and everything.
Yes.
Well, I grew up Catholic too, though.
Oh, okay. Now we know.
But I'm better now. I'm recovering.
You're recovering.
Recovering.
I'm a recovering
Recovering
Catharaholic.
Yes.
Yes. Well, and it was made by the monks, and they had leftover bread dough, and the friar said, "What am I going to do with this old bread dough?"
He tucked it.
And he made this up, and he says, "Oh, it's kind of like our arms." And so he made them and prezziolas. So that's what he called them.
Prezziola.
For praying. Yeah.
Pizza. Magnifico.
Manifito.
That's a spicy meatball.
That's a spicy moofluff.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli. All right. So we also promised our listeners. I think I'm going through puberty again.
Barely. You finally went through puberty.
Hey, how would you? When it's time to change. Remember that song from the Brady Bunch?
Yes.
When they thought they wanted to be a singing act. Oh my God! That was,
and Peter's.
Oh,
it was Peter's voice that was
Peter's
cracking.
voice was cracking. Yeah, it's just terrible. Just terrible.
It definitely cracked me up, not just him.
Yes. It cracked all of us up.
So, listeners may know that Google has released a artificial intelligence for writing and all sorts of stuff.
A chat bot.
A chatbot. Well,
not
they
really
call it
true
an IA.
AI.
They call it a learning AI. They call it an AI.
It's not really true AI yet. It's more like a stochastic parrot, but it's well, I mean that's
stochastic parrot.
Yeah, so a stochastic parrot is what people in the AI world are calling these chatbots. They're just like a parrot in that they can repeat things that that they know in their database.
Okay.
But they often don't know what they're saying. So like a parrot will often repeat things that his owner has said, but it doesn't actually know what it's saying.
Doesn't comprehend what he's words.
It doesn't comprehend the language. And that's
These
kind
are
of
like me. I say words and I have
Yes.
no idea what these words are that I'm saying.
But that's kind of like it's where they're at right now, which is actually it's actually pretty amazing.
Right.
But it's not exactly yet AI. We're still a ways off from a general artificial intelligence.
All right. Well, I asked folks on Telegram if they would submit their name and their species and a situation, and I would plug it into Bard, and then I would read the story on the show. So the first one I want to read, and Rayne, I'm going to let you read yours after mine, and then I'm going to read one that I had done for Taebyn today. So this first one was from Deotter, or D''Otter, as in the otter.
Shout out to
Otter.
Deotter.
Deotter, sorry, he's very active. They're very active in our Telegram chat. All right, Deotter was an otter who lived in the Pacific Ocean. He loved to spear fish, and he was very good at it. One day, he was spearfishing in a cove when he saw a big fish swimming by. He took aim and threw his spear, but the spear missed the fish and landed in the water. The otter was very disappointed. He didn't have another spear, and he didn't know how he was going to catch the fish. The otter thought for a moment, and then he had an idea. He swam to the shore and found a long stick. He sharpened the end of the stick with his teeth, and then he went back to the cove. He waited for the fish to swim by again, and when it did, he threw the stick at it. The stick hit the fish, and the fish was knocked unconscious. The otter swam over to the fish and picked it up. He was very happy that he had been able to catch the fish, even though he had lost his spear. The otter took the fish back to his home on the shore. He cooked the fish over a fire, and then he ate it. The fish was delicious, and the otter was very satisfied. He knew that he would never forget that day that he caught a fish with a stick. Now,
Very
the
nice.
next day,
And the next day. I was going to say, he was a little unhappy that he lost his spirit.
the next
The
day,
next day.
the otter went back to the cove to spear fish again. He was very careful not to lose his spear this time. He threw his spear at a fish, and this time he hit it. The fish was killed instantly, and the otter was able to bring it back to his home. He cooked the fish and ate it, and it was even more delicious than the fish he had caught the day before.
Wow.
He continued to spear fish every day, and he always brought home a fish. He became very good at spear fishing and was able to catch a variety of fish. He even caught a shark one day.
Wow.
The otter was very proud of his fishing skills, and he loved to eat the fish he caught. One day, the otter was spearfishing in a cove when he saw a group of people on the shore. The people were fishing with nets, and they were catching a lot of fish. The otter was very impressed. He had never seen anyone catch so many fish before.
So many.
He swam to the shore and talked to the people. He asked them how they were able to catch so many fish. The people told the otter that they were using nets, and that nets were much more effective than spears. The otter was very interested in this, and he asked the people if he could borrow their nets. The people were happy to lend the otter their nets, and the otter went back home to his home. The next day, the otter went back to the cove with the nets. He threw the nets into the water, and he was able to catch a lot of fish. The otter was very happy, and he finally found a way to catch more fish than he ever could with a spear. The end.
Wow.
That's a pretty good story.
That's
Yeah.
actually, wow. Like computers. Wow. That's actually
Right?
pretty.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's actually
Okay.
amazing.
Well, Rayne, what was your story?
Oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and let a computer read it because, I mean, Bard
Okay.
is also a computer. So I'm letting one of Bard's, I guess, relatives
Cousins?
read this. Yeah,
Yeah.
cousins, relatives. So here we go.
Okay. Here we go.
Rayne the raccoon loved steampunk. He loved the gears and the cogs, the brass and the wood, the way everything fit together so perfectly. He loved the way steampunk made him feel like he could be anything he wanted to be. One day, Rayne was exploring the city when he came across a strange shop. The sign outside said Steampunk Emporium, and Rayne was immediately intrigued. He went inside and was amazed by what he saw. There were all sorts of steampunk gadgets and gizmos, and Rayne knew he had to have them all. Rayne spent the next few weeks working odd jobs to save up enough money to buy everything in the shop. When he finally had enough, he went back and bought everything he could carry. He took it all home and started working on his own steampunk creations. Rayne worked on his creations for months, and when he was finally finished, he was so proud of himself. He had built a steampunk jetpack, a steampunk grappling hook, and even a steampunk time machine. Rayne couldn't wait to try out his new creations. He put on his jetpack and flew around the city. He used his grappling hook to climb up tall buildings, and he used his time machine to travel to different times in history. Rayne had so much fun with his steampunk creations that he decided to start a business. He opened up a shop called Rayne's Steampunk Emporium, and he sold his creations to people all over the world.
Creative name.
Rayne was very successful, and he was able to travel all over the world. He went to steampunk conventions, he gave speeches, and he even appeared in a few movies. Rayne loved his life, and he knew that he would never get tired of steampunk. It was his passion, and he was going to keep doing it for the rest of his life.
And
Wow.
that's the story.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really, I knew about these things that Bard and similar things could do this, but I've never explored it. This is like
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, it's
actually fairly decent at writing a compelling little story.
Right. And today they announced that Bard could pick and choose pictures to augment
Yeah, wow.
the story.
Augment.
And so I asked it to tell me a story about Taebyn going to the mountains. And I said, include pictures.
Oh, very
And
nice. Very
the
nice.
first picture they found was actually a picture that I took of you at BLFC,
BLFC.
many years ago, our very
Wow.
first BLFC.
2017,
Yeah,
probably.
they found that off the web. All right.
Wow.
It goes, Taebyn, the furry dog, was a happy-go-lucky pup who loved to explore. One day, he heard about a beautiful mountain range that was said to be home to all sorts of amazing creatures. Taebyn decided that he had to see it for himself, and so he set off on a journey to the mountains, and then they put a picture of
Wow.
Taebyn right there.
There it is.
Taebyn
Yeah.
traveled for many days, and along the way, he met all sorts of interesting animals. He met a wise old arrow, an owl, who told him stories about the mountains, a friendly squirrel who showed him where to find the best nuts, and a playful bear cub who taught him how to climb trees. I've never seen a
There
dog
you
climb
go.
trees, but now Taebyn knows how to do it. And they included a picture of an owl and a park ranger that I'm assuming if I click on it will show me a squirrel that's trying to feed, but it's just a park ranger. And then a bear holding its toes,
And
which
there's
I
a
thought was
bear.
kind of cute.
That's very cute. Very cute.
So finally,
You
Taebyn
taught
reached
him
the
how to
mountains.
climb a tree.
Yes. He was amazed by their beauty. The peaks were so tall that they seemed to reach the sky, and the valleys were so lush and green that they looked like they were out of a painting. And there's a picture of a mountain. Taebyn
Nice.
spent the next few days exploring the mountains. He hiked up to the highest peaks, swam in the clearest clear lakes, and chased butterflies
good
through
for
the
him.
wildflower meadows. He had the time of his life.
Sounds like I had a good time.
You did. One day, Taebyn was hiking through the mountains when he came across a group of animals who were arguing. The animals were all different shapes and sizes, and they were all trying to claim the same piece of land. Taebyn listened to their arguments for a while, and then he spoke up. "Why are you arguing?" Taebyn asked. "This land is big enough for all of us. Why don't we just share it?" The animals were surprised by Taebyn's suggestion that they had never thought about sharing before. But Taebyn's words made sense to them, and they agreed to try it. The
Oh, good
animals
for
lived
them.
together in
Aw.
peace and harmony for many years, and were all grateful to Taebyn for teaching them the importance of sharing. Taebyn, of course, eventually returned home, but he never forgot his time in the mountains. He often tells stories about his adventures to his friends and family. Taebyn's stories inspired others to explore the world and to learn to live in peace with others. The end.
Wow.
Aw,
So
that's
there you
cute.
have it, you furs. I am inspiring. So all you furs that don't think I am, you heard it right here with
Well,
pictures.
no, you really are. That they did kind of capture. Bard did kind of capture your essence because
Very
you've
much so.
Bard did
inspired
his
me to
research.
do a lot of things. I wouldn't be on the podcast without you inspiring me to actually speak on the podcast, and I wouldn't be DJing at cons without you inspiring me to do that. And you are muted again.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I said.
Yes.
No, no.
So you are an inspiration.
You are an
Oh.
inspiration to us all.
You're the inspiration, the only puppy in my life. I am a fluffation. I don't know what's going.
Well, thank
That was-
goodness we're not going to get copyrighted for that one because there's
No, that's
no
true.
way
Well,
that even the best AI in the world could tell what song that is.
Yes.
Exactly. Good point. Good point.
So remember, Furs, if
Nice.
you'd like
Well,
to hear a
that's very
story
cool.
about yourself, send me on Telegram the name, situation, and what you are, and we'll make sure that we read that Bard story on the air.
Oh yeah, and your pronouns as well, because that'll help Bard know which
True.
which gender to gender you.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I'm going to take my headphones off because I'm going to queue up Furries in the News.
Furlandia was fun. Wow, I'm bathing in my own spittle. Furries are in. What is even wrong with my life? Furries are in the. What the hell is horrible? I bark. I'm done. Bark.
Wow. Did you?
Oh
is there
my
a puppy
goodness.
underneath you now? It sounds like you're giving birth.
Yeah,
I
or constipated,
bark,
one or the
bark,
other.
Yes, exactly.
Pup,
Oh
you need
my
more
cow.
fiber
Oh
in your
my.
diet.
Yes, you
Oh,
do. So
I need a lot more fiber. Oh my cow.
oh, that great state of Florida. Their new law has caused Megaplex to go 18 plus only. No one under the age of 18 can attend Megaplex now. It's not very happy. On May 24th, the Furry Convention Mayor Megaplex released a statement about a significant change to the convention. No minors will be allowed to attend. According to the statement, Florida Senate Bill 1438, Protection of Children, is to blame for this needed change. Apparently, people in adorable animal costumes are an immediate serious danger to the public health, safety, or welfare.
Oh, I know. Totally.
I know, totally. And it could result in a fine of over $10,000 per day for the con if they allow folks to go there. A beloved lawyer of the furry fandom, Boozy Badger. Boozy, if you're listening, we've been trying to get you on the show.
Yes, forever.
Organizations do not make decisions like this without speaking to their attorneys and getting a legal opinion. I want folks who may be getting upset to bear that in mind. The fault doesn't lie with the convention, it lies with the government, according to Boozy. Should the government really have to have a say in what parents decide is okay for the kids to see and interact with? I don't think so, but,
No.
Yeah.
I thought we were dealing with parents' choice. I thought that was the whole thing with the sanctum, the sanitary napkin or whatever his name is.
The sanitary napkin.
I thought that was the whole point of his. Parents should be the ultimate ones in control of their children.
The sanitary napkin.
Yeah.
All right.
It's such BS. He's just trying to go after the trans community and drag queens and furries, and he's just everything that he can do to dog whistle, he's doing.
Now, I see that there was a late entry to the furries in the news put in there by somebody. Would that somebody
by me
like to read this story?
I would like to read this because I feel really, really bad for this fur.
Okay.
We've tried to get him on the show, but it's just never actually happened. But many people know Odin Wolf. And Odin Wolf had his friend's trailer stolen and then was accosted by a Christian YouTuber.
Oh, good Lord.
What?
Yes. So Odin and Snaps drove to Pneumaticon, which is a first-year con in, I believe, Tennessee. And on Thursday, and in Snap's vehicle, using his own personal trailer to tow all of Odin's merchandise for his booth. He has a company now called 14 Werewolves where he sells, merchandise of the slightly adult nature, and he also has some other stuff just of the Odin Wolf character. Anyways, he set up his booth, left some of the extra bins full of extra inventory, as well as all of Snap's personal items in the trailer overnight. Trailer had a proper lock on both the trailer and on the hitch and was left under a streetlight in the parking lot of the Maxwell Millennium House in Tennessee, which is the main convention hotel's parking lot. When they woke up in the morning, they were absolutely stunned to see that their trailer had been completely missing. Only a broken lock remained on the ground. So it took Odin a while to process what was going on, only to break down crying in the parking lot. Because he literally could not believe that this would have happened at a FurCon.
Really? No kidding.
They, of course,
I hug you.
Yeah, they of course promptly called the police, filed a report, and contacted their respective insurances.
Good.
According to the cameras, 2 people pulled up at 5 a.m., broke the trailer lock, hitched up the trailer to their own vehicle within minutes. They took the trailer and all the contents, and according to police, the trailer theft is not uncommon in the area, and thieves clearly knew what they were doing. There is next to zero chance the trailer would ever be recovered, and the merchandise would certainly have been tossed by thieves. So in Tennessee, you don't even need a license for a trailer. So they probably just threw the license plate away, and just took off with the trailer. And there's no way to tell whose trailer's whose. So what happened is neither Odin's nor Snap's vehicle or homeowner's insurance will cover the incident. The vehicle insurance is got $1,000 deductible, and they'll only pay $1,000. So they were robbed
Odin,
for.
If you listen to this, Odin, I hug you tight with pauses.
Yeah.
I feel for you. All you furs, give your support to Odin. We should start like an Odin.
There is a
charity.
GoFundMe. There is a
Oh, good.
GoFundMe for him
Good.
available on Odin's YouTube. So we'll also post the link in the bottom of this, I think. But
Yes.
they were robbed for about $10,000.
Wow.
And then to make matters worse, a garbage prankster YouTuber named Bo Diddle started harassing them in the parking lot.
What?
And it just made matters worse. The con had to get him removed from the place. He would not leave until the police showed up. He's like, but I'm just a Christian. What did I do? Is it because I'm white? Blah blah blah. All this BS.
No, it's because you're stupid.
But luckily, Bo Diddle's video was taken down after he posted it. Odin had nothing to do with it because he's not that type of fur. But it seems that people featured in the video shown had it taken down. The guy was on private property, did not have rights to film or use any of their likenesses in the video, which is against YouTube's terms of service. So
There you go.
I will get the link for Odin's GoFundMe. He's out
Yeah.
$10,000 of his own
That's-
money right now.
Yeah.
Plus, he feels responsible for Snap's trailer. Dude is just
That's-
really struggling right
Yeah.
now.
So
If
all you-
anybody
I'm
could-
definitely-
if anybody
so-
could support him, this is the furry fandom. We're all about supporting each other.
Definitely,
Let's try
I'm
and help him
definitely
out.
going to support him for his GoFundMe. So all you furs, join me in helping support Odin in giving him money in his GoFundMe.
Yeah, I've already
'cause I
pledged to
think it
Odin
really
that
is.
that as soon as payday hits, I'm sending money to his GoFundMe. I don't have a lot, but I just can't believe that he
So
had such a
what's-
horrible
so we'll-
experience,
we'll
and
put
he
the-
does not blame Nomadicon. Nomadicon comped all of his hotel room. They
Oh,
comped
nice.
his dealer's
Oh, that's nice.
his dealer's
That's very
den
nice.
spot. They did everything they could to try and help out. It's just a bad area of Tennessee, and it's not their fault. I mean,
No.
and Odin does not blame them. He was very grateful for all the help they were able to
Oh,
give
sure.
him.
Sure.
And Snap, and I think we as a community are really good at coming together and helping each other out. Help out.
What
if you
is the
can.
GoFundMe? Read it out.
Or GoFund.me/6478CB75.
There you go. So you can rewind and
and
listen
we will
to that
we will
again.
also
But
post
as
that.
you said,
Send
you can go to Odin's YouTube, and it's linked there
Yes,
too, right?
it's on the video that says I was robbed at a furry con and harassed by a prankster YouTuber.
Okay.
And so
All right.
I'm going to copy the link and put it in show notes so that we can put it in the thing. Odin
Awesome.
Wolf is a great guy, and I hate to see him go through this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes. So turning to something a little more on the lighter side, the Ursa Major Awards, the 2022 winners were announced. The winners of the 2022 Ursa Major Awards, there was 1,350 votes this year. And also a reminder, the organizer of the Ursa Majors would like to remind everybody that they are run voluntarily and they accept PayPal donations, and we'll put the link in that also to continue running things for the future. And now, the winners of the 2022 awards of the Ursa Majors. So the best motion picture goes to, I'm just going to read the winners. I'm not going to list all the nominees. I'm just going to list all the winners. So the best motion picture goes to Puss in Boots: The Last Wish by DreamWorks Universal.
Oh yeah,
The breast,
Yay.
which
the
Chitaro
breast,
reviewed.
yes, the breast. Why can't I say Brett? Why
Best?
can't I say best?
Yeah.
Okay, the
Apparently,
best.
I thought you were gay. I thought you didn't like breasts that much.
Well, I get a lot of sleep now that I got that new mammary foam bed.
Oh,
Oh, memory
I
foam.
see
Yes.
what you did there.
All right. The best dramatic short show was Horns by Fatty Dragonite. The best dramatic series is Bluey by Ludo, ABC, BBC, and Disney. I don't know how
I
Bluey is a
find that
dramatic
interesting
series.
that it's a dramatic series. Exactly. I
it's
don't
Bluey,
think of Bluey as
it's
a
cute
dramatic
though.
series.
I like
Mhm.
Bluey.
I mean, the
Yep,
episode
yep.
where he did the flossing, that I guess that was pretty dramatic.
I
Oh,
guess.
yeah.
The best novel was by Jessica Kara called A Furry Faux Paw, PAW. That was cute.
Nice.
The best short fiction by Greg 7G Lutterman is Bears and Bravery. The best literary work by Steve Domansky and Andrew French is called Circles, Volume 4. I guess 1, 2, and 3 were not good enough to be admitted. Best
Well,
gotta
fiction
take
be
a
work.
little
lower.
time to get it right.
Yep. Best nonfiction work is by Patricia Taxon, known as the title is Art, Furries, God. Art, Furries, and God. There you go.
Oh, dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. The best graphic story is by Doc N, entitled The Whiteboard, Sherlock Holmes. The best comic strip
Ooh,
by
I'm gonna have
Doc
to read
N
that.
is called Just the Whiteboard, without a colon and other things after it.
Oh,
The best magazine is Dog Past Press. Once again, they
Yay,
have
Dog
won
Past.
several times. Edited by Patch Packrat. Best illustration is Dragon Party by AISO5. I'm not sure whether that's printed ACE05 or ACE5. I don't know. That's a mature audiences
I
only.
don't know.
Best game is Cult of the Lamb by Massive Monster
I'll have
and
to check that
Devolver
out.
Digital. Yep.
Ah,
Yeah.
Best
I've been meaning to
website.
check it out too.
Best website for Affinity. Of course, everybody knows for
We weren't
Affinity.
even on the list.
And pardon me?
We weren't
What
even
was
on
it?
the list.
No,
What
we
the
weren't on
heck?
the yeah.
For the best website.
No, we weren't even on the list.
We weren't on the best list. We weren't on the list for the best magazine either. Podcasts are nominated under the magazine
Dang it.
category for the future, folks. That's where you need to that's where podcasts are included. And then the best anthropomorphic music was by Nani, called Another Railway Day. And there was
Very
no
nice.
interest in
Cute.
the best anthropomorphic fursuits. So
Oh,
nobody was
okay.
nominated.
Man, I could have
Yeah.
nominated myself.
Right, you would have won because you would have been the only one there. Yes,
I would have.
would've.
Nobody else
Right.
did anything.
So congratulations to all the winners. Don't forget, if you see a furry work and you like it and want to share it, originating from both within and outside the fandom, send them to the recommended anthropomorphics list at the Ursa Major Awards website. And there you go.
And you know
and
what?
also,
what's
you
some-
can send them to us too, because we would like to hear about it and let everybody else know about
Yeah.
it.
Sure.
And what's interesting, so if you look, if you first look at the nominees or nominate or like you know the runners up and everything, Mary E. Loud, who is an artist, or sorry, not artist, but a novelist, writes lots of stories, got lots of nominations, and I know in past she's won stuff and everything too. And it was announced at Furlandia closing ceremonies that she is the author guest of honor at Furlandia next year. So if you'd like
That's
to,
right. That's why I know that name.
yeah. So if you'd like to meet and talk to Mary E. Loud, come to Furlandia next year and
Yeah, they will be there.
read all about it, as it were.
Yes.
Oh,
Read all about it. Extra, read all about it.
extra.
Read all about it. All right, that brings us up to our upcoming events, brings us up to our upcoming events. It's so many words. Words are hard. Language is hard.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. All right, so next weekend, the 16th through the 18th in Houston, Texas, at the Houston Marriott West Chase is Stratus Fur 2023. If you go there first, send us a message and tell us how you're liking it. The weekend after that, June 22nd through the 25th, there are two cons. There's PortCon Maine at the Doubletree by Hilton in Portland, Maine, in South Portland, Maine. You have Aurora in Sydney, Australia, at the Novotel
still
Sydney
love that
Olympic
name.
Park. Yes, Aurora. And then July 4th weekend, of course, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is Anthrocon. So one of the biggest cons in the country. The week of June 30th through July 2nd, also at the Theatre Deli, where I guess they're going to give you food in London, is the Pride Unbound London. We still haven't figured out whether that's a Pride event or a furry event. We should probably figure that out at some point.
Or lunch.
Or lunch, yes.
It could be lunch. Yeah.
Then again, on July 6th through the 9th, and that same weekend, the 7th through the 10th, is two cons. One is Furray up in Edmonton, Alberta. And the other is South Afrifur in Mulder's Drift, Lanseria, South Africa. And then July 14th through the 16th is Anthro Weekend Utah at the Davis Conference Center in Layton, Utah. And finally, we have Furway, July 14th through the 16th. And I'm going to say this badly because it's Norwegian or Scandinavian language.
Estjern Hittelton.
There's no L in there. Hitteten.
Estjern
Estjern
yeah,
Hitteten. Estjern
Brandval.
Hitteten in
Brandbu. I'm sorry.
Brandbu, Norway. Taebyn, in case you forgot, Furway 2023 is going to be at Estjern Hitteten in Brandbu, Norway.
I totally forgot about that, so thank you for reminding me.
Okay.
I should remember to go and learn how to pronounce that. My lord.
Right? They have
It's
strange
not
things
easy.
over their letters. So
Yeah, Norwegian, Swedish. It's all very, very difficult to speak.
The little
Yes.
zeros over the top and the dots.
Yeah.
And
Right, the zeros, tops, and letters, and J's and Y's, and all sorts of things
Mhm.
in strange places, and then Y's are pronounced like E's, and S's are pronounced like T's. I don't know.
I
There's all
don't
sorts
even
of
know
different-
why.
There's no birds up in the sky, stormy weather. Anyway, okay.
Okay.
So,
okay.
do you have some math for us, Taebyn, or do you want to forego that this week?
I have some quick math.
Quick math.
Or by quick math, I do have some, but it shouldn't take too long to talk about. But I think it's
All right.
really interesting and cool.
All right. Well, let's hear the interesting and
So
cool.
I want to talk about and cool. So I want to talk about magic numbers. We've talked on the math at one point. I talked about. Do you remember how it all comes back to 9? So 9's kind of like a special magic number,
Right.
and that if you multiply anything by 9 and add the digits and keep doing that, you'll always get back to 9. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to talk about another magic number. The magic number is 142,857. So 142,857. You
Okay.
might want to write it down. I don't know.
8675309.
142,857.
There you go.
There you go. So so if you have 1/7, like 1 divided by 7, and look at the decimal representation of the number 1/7, you get, and this isn't the amazing part, but just a note that you get a repeating decimal, and that number that repeats is 142,857. So 142,857, 142,857, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. So you can divide and you get a number. Now, if you multiply that number, 142,857, by any number between 2 and 6, you will get the same digits, but in a different order. In fact, cyclic. For example, you might want to write this down to see what I'm talking about. If you take 142,857 multiplied by 4, you get 571,428. So those are the numbers 142,857 just kind of cycled around. It's the same numbers, but in the same
Just
order.
in another order, yeah.
Another order. Yes.
And so that works if you multiply that by any number between 2 and 6. Now, also, if you divide any integer that's not a multiple of 7, so take an integer that's not a multiple of 7, divide that by 7, you will always have those digits repeating in the correct order after the decimal point. For example,
yes.
965 divided by 7 is 137.857. Those are the last 3 numbers in 142,857. If you take 65 and divide it by 7, you get 9.28571. So the decimal part is 28571. Those are, I meant to say 28571. Those are exactly the numbers in 142,857 just cycled around a little bit. And that always happens, and it's amazing.
That is kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
It's really interesting. Yeah.
Math
and that's my math for the week. I thought that was very cool and interesting.
Yes.
That one is really cool. Actually, and that one's it's not too brainy for this poor little raccoon to figure out.
No, it's just
I like that one.
And I mean, and it's all based on, properties of integers, which is the branch of, as I said before, branch of mathematics called number theory. Has a lot to do with studying and looking at properties of the integers. So if any out there is interested in these sorts of things, from Math's last theorem, what I was just talking about, other things having to do with integers, go look into number theories. Very, very interesting stuff.
Very interesting stuff.
Very.
Very interesting stuff indeed. On a side note, related but not related. So we're all familiar with the show The Big Bang Theory, right?
Of course.
Yes.
And Sheldon is very smart and spouts off lots of scientific and mathematical things during as his character, right? The actor that plays that actually only has a degree in English literature. So you're muted, Taebyn. Yes, he has.
Jim Parsons.
Jim
Jim Parsons, yes.
Yes, he has a degree in English literature.
really?
And
However,
yes. However,
Ian Bialik, who
Yes.
plays his girlfriend,
Yes.
Amy Farrah Fowler.
yes,
She is actually a true doctor. She has
Yes.
degrees in biology.
yes, yes.
Yes.
She also has
Did not
a
know
minor
this.
degree in physics as well. As does
Yes.
Rajesh has a degree in
Oh yeah. Yes.
science. Yes. But the funny thing about Jim Parsons is
Very cool.
he didn't understand anything of his lines that were scientific or mathematic. In fact, he would have to spend hours beforehand practicing saying all those words before he got on camera because he had no clue what the hell he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
And he still doesn't
I
know
did
that.
not
He
know
gave
that.
an
That's
interview
interesting.
recently and he says, I have no idea what the hell I was talking about. Not at all. Not a clue. Not at all.
It's like on
So
It's like on Star Trek, the original series, all the stuff that Scotty would have to spout off and
right. Yeah.
say, he and Kirk and Spock and everything. They ended up calling it technobabble, and
Yes.
and that's where the term was
Technobabble.
coined. Was on Star Trek, and
Yep.
yeah, they had no idea what they were saying, if any of it even made any sense.
Nope.
I usually don't know what I'm saying about
Yeah, that's-
anything, so I
It's
understand.
like, what are you
Taebyn
talking
Babble.
about,
I
Taebyn?
understand. Taebyn Babble.
Taebyn Babble.
I have no idea, and thanks for asking.
Right.
Yes.
What was it? UTSs instead of
Yes.
UTIs. Yes,
Oh,
UTSs.
What was it? What did that stand for again?
I don't know. I'll have to go back and listen. But
I don't remember it.
something I remember. We've slept
Unrequested
since then.
Taebyn sounds or something like
Something
that.
like that. Yes.
We have slept. That was more than 5 seconds ago.
Yep. All right. So let's get to some jokes before we close out our show.
Ooh, boo, bark.
Okay. And to give everybody a background on the jokes, Taebyn, give us the background on our jokes.
So, so I have this book here called The Ultimate Dad Joke Book, 501 Hilarious Jokes and Puns. And I just read the next page of jokes in the book.
And who's the author?
Yes, of course. The author is Hugh Mermy. Hugh
Mr. Mermy.
Which Barely was very... I had no idea about that, but Barely pointed out to me Hugh Mermy, like, oh yeah, duh. So I just read the next page in the book without pre-reading, so you can't blame me if they're bad, but if they're really good, you can compliment me for reading it, I guess.
Sure.
Barely, on the other hand, searches out jokes and purposely finds really, really bad ones. So that's great. And then Rayne, I don't know what you do, Rayne. You just kind of sit there.
I just kind of like find funny jokes that make me laugh. I don't care about the rest of you laughing. If I laugh,
I don't care
it's all
about the
that I
rest
care.
of you.
It's,
I ain't got time for that.
it's all about the rain. All
I'm
about
not
the
here to
rain.
entertain you.
That's right. But you are
Blame
actually.
it on
That's why we're here.
rain.
Oh,
Yes.
well, okay. I guess I better start finding better jokes then.
Yours. All right. So, Taebyn, I'm going to let you go first
Oh,
because
well,
that's why.
I'm going to ask you a question that you know the answer to, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why I'm asking it, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
What kind of horses only come out after the sun sets?
Oh, that's easy. Well, that's a nightmare.
No,
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
that's totally a nightmare.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, okay, so I'll go. Let me keep going till I get to something you don't know. So
Okay.
the next one, which you do know, what do you call a pig doing karate?
Chop suey.
Oh,
No.
so close.
Horsanisa? Throwback to an original story way back when.
You should go back to way back. No, it's a pork chop.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, we'll get
Oh,
so
right.
I'll be done with that for now.
It's like, well, I was laying in bed last night and, I had a rough week. And I was laying there and I thought, Lord, what the heck is wrong with me? And as soon as I said that, lightning struck and a resonant voice came out of the air and said, "This is going to take a lot more than one night to explain."
Yeah, let's reconvene later.
Yeah, we'll read later.
So as you know, it's the weekend after the week after the con for us, and some of us have post-con depression. And so my friend was telling me, cheer up. I mean, you're not stuck in a deep hole in the ground filled with water. I know he means well.
Nice way to go circumvent and get around to the joke that we've said so many times.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not it. That was good.
I thought it was a good
That
one.
was good. You know things.
Yeah.
Well, what we just were talking about. What do you call an owl? Oh, Lord, am I going to actually...
Yes, please.
Oh, my cow. So that's an example you've heard of,
Hernian.
halfway through reading it, then I read the punchline and everything, and I'm like, what am I... Okay, I started, so I'm going to do it. What do you call an owl that can do magic tricks?
I don't know. What do you call an owl that can do magic tricks?
Houdini!
That's actually pretty good.
Actually, not too bad, actually.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
Oh, my cow.
You know, ancient Egyptians slept on pillows made of stone. And that's actually what caused a lot of their deaths were the pillow fights.
I did that. Yeah, it's brutal times back then. Like slumber parties were really brutal back then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Terrible. Just terrible.
Oh my
Terrible.
goodness.
Just terrible.
Did you guys hear about the cow who jumped over the barbed wire fence?
No, what happened to it?
It was utter destruction.
Oh,
I mean, I utterly do not relish that. I do want to know. I do have a very, very serious, important question.
okay.
So we have ducks, right? I mean, there are ducks.
We have ducks. Yes.
Do you
I don't
have
have
a
a duck
quack-
personally.
You
No.
don't have a
I want a new duck.
I want a
Say,
new duck.
One that won't quack.
One
One that
that
won't-
won't try and bite.
Yeah.
Yes.
One that won't.
Quack
Wow,
all
that's
day.
one song I don't actually remember
Yeah.
off the top of my head. So anyway, so they're ducks. Do you know why ducks have tail feathers?
So they can fly.
Yes.
Why do they have tail feathers, Taebyn? Please tell us why a
Go
duck
for
has
it.
a tail feather. Is
To cover their bum quacks. What? Mr. Mermy, what are you talking?
they're bum quacks. Okay.
Quacks.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Who's next? Is it me or is it you, Rayne?
I don't
you,
even know
Barry.
anymore.
It's me. All right. You know, it's June, and a lot of colleges and universities around the country recently held graduations for all of their students and stuff. And so I thought I would give some perspective about how the graduates see the world. So, a graduate with a science degree asks, "Why does this work?" A graduate with an engineering degree asks, "How does this work?" A graduate with an accounting degree asks, "How much will it cost?" And a graduate with a liberal arts degree asks, "Welcome to Walmart. How can I help you find something?"
Sorry, but I'm saying.
Yes. Yes.
I
very true.
like it. I like it. I mean, sorry for all you liberal arts
arts graduates.
I
Yes,
like
yes.
it.
So, as you all know, I love gadgets. I mean, as the stories that Bard told, I'm a gadget lover, and
Yes.
it's true. So the first time I got a universal remote control, I thought to myself, this changes everything.
Oh my cow.
Oh my cow. Taebyn, give us a great one.
Okay, well, I have two more because the next one isn't great, and I have two more, and maybe they'll add up to something great. How about that?
Okay, well, I've got one more too, so go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'll do one. Why are teddy bears never hungry?
Don't know, because they can't eat.
That would do it. That would
Yes.
totally do it. There's another reason too, which makes them even more hungry. It's because they are always stuffed.
Aha. Okay. All right. Rayne, give us one more, and I'm going to give us one more, and then we'll let Taebyn close it out.
Okay. This one's kind of stupid, but I bet you a pup will get this one.
Okay.
What type of music do balloons hate?
Pop music.
Pop music. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of myself for figuring that out.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Wait a minute. I got one more, and then you can finish.
Monkeys
Taebyn.
go pop.
Monkeys go pop.
Okay. Yes.
Balloons go pop. All right. So a priest and a rabbi operated a church and a synagogue across the street from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Since their schedules intertwined, they decided to go in together and buy a car.
Okay.
After the purchase, they drove it home and parked it on the street between the two, church and synagogue. A few minutes later, the rabbi looked out and saw the priest sprinkling water on the new car. It didn't need a wash, so he hurried out and asked the priest what he was doing. "I'm blessing it," the priest replied. The rabbi considered this for a few moments, then went back inside and came out with a hacksaw, walked over to the back of the car, and cut off 2 inches of the tailpipe.
Oh.
Taebyn doesn't get it.
That was so funny. I forgot to press a button.
I'll put in a button and post.
Okay, that was good.
I'm gonna
I
have to
like
go
that
back and listen to this later. I think I fell asleep for a second or something. I don't know.
one. Taebyn, the rabbi was also a moil.
A moil?
A moil.
Yes.
He doesn't know what a moil
Look up
is.
moil.
Yeah.
Look up moil.
Oh, this is one of those where you have to know something. Okay.
Well,
I'll write
yes.
that down. I'll write
What's
that down. I'm excited. I'll write that down,
Taebyn.
and then I'll listen to this. And
Taebyn.
yes,
Taebyn.
yes.
What does the Jewish religion do to little boys when they're babies?
Oh.
I saw the
Yeah.
light come on over his head. That's what
Remember
he
when I
cut off.
talked about working at the zoo?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I used to circumcise the elephants.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
did you?
the pay was peanuts, but the tips were huge.
I bet. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
This pup
Taebyn.
died. Oh.
You got one more to end us on this? Do you
That
have
was
one more?
a journey. I do. I was reading. Okay. Okay. I'm back now. Wow. There was a journey that just happened right here. There was a journey. So I looked at the next page and I decided not to read the next one. I skipped to this because I think this one's cute. So I'm going to end on this cute one. How's that?
Okay.
Sounds good.
What is the difference between a weird rabbit and an athletic rabbit? A weird rabbit and an
athletic rabbit?
Yeah.
I don't
know.
I don't know. What is the difference between a weird rabbit and an athletic rabbit?
Well, one is a bit funny and the other is a fit bunny.
That
Well,
was pretty good.
you know,
Fit funny and fit bunny.
that's why I like to laugh at myself. That way I'm always amused. But anyway,
I thought it was cute. I don't
that was
know.
cute. That was
I
cute.
thought it was cute, yeah.
Well, boy.
Okay, so what do you call a bear with no ears?
Deaf?
A bu-
I get it.
You do.
A bu.
No. Well, actually, yeah. The answer is B. So, okay.
Yes. Bu.
That's
I'll
buff.
stop. I'll stop.
All right. Well, boy, howdy. Or as Mr. Poopy Butthole says on Rick and Morty, ooh wee. We sure covered a metric fuck ton of shit. Yes. You've never heard of Mr. Poopy Butthole?
Oh, yes.
It's a character on Rick and Morty.
I don't have any idea what's happening right
And he
now.
always starts everything off with ooh wee. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. We sure did a lot of stuff today.
Okay.
Ooh wee. We laughed, we cried, we played with artificial intelligence, and we had a wee bit of drama. Ooh wee. But overall, we had an adequate time. Remember, you can help support the
You
show
sound
through
like
donations.
Cowley.
It's very similar voices as I think about it now. Yes. But Towley is just stoned. Hey, what about anybody? Don't forget to bring a towel. Don't forget your towel. Want to get a high?
What you think me do?
Right. Okay. Remember, you can help support the show through donations at Patreon and Ko-Fi, through Merch Perch at Bonfire, Redbubble, or Fourth Wall. If you have suggestions for merch, reach out to us on Telegram, to me, Barely Normal, and I will heed your needs. Rayne, any final words before we... Heeded.
Yeah, so I posted on BFFT chat the DJ set from Furlandia. If anybody wants to hear it, if they missed it, it's available. I'm also now also myself taking subscriptions, and I'm going to start doing Friday night streams of music, just so everybody can kind of enjoy, and I can get more practice DJing.
Is that going to be on Twitch?
Every fur.
No, it'll be on Mixcloud.
Mixcloud. All right. Well, there you go.
Cool.
I will post stuff in the chat for people that want to come check it out.
And we'll put it on the website too.
Okay. And before I turn it over to Taebyn, I want to say Moobarkfluff and stay furry. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Taebyn, say goodnight.
Good night. But I'm not going to leave it there.
Of course not. Of course not.
Come on.
No. Darn it.
So thank you all you furs for listening. It means a lot to us. And I actually know there are some furs out there that listen. At Furlandia, there were some that said, we listen to your podcast. So that's very exciting. So thank you, all you furs, for listening. It means so much to us. As Barely said, there are other ways you can support us financially to help us keep the lights on and everything. And that's great. But just listening to it, knowing that we entertain you and everything, or make you really unhappy to be alive because somehow you're making yourself listen to us. In any case, thank you so much. It means a lot to us. And so, go out, do the stuff, enjoy the weather, do the things. Go to FurCons. Can't wait to see you next at a FurCon in the future where we can hug you tight with parties. With posies at a party.
At a party.
Exactly.
Party posies.
So until next week.
I'll be DJing.
You'll be DJing, we'll be doing the dances, you'll be doing some parties, I'll hug with pausies, all that good stuff. So until next week, where we bark at you again, have a wonderful week. Moobarkfluff, stay furry, bark, bark.
Barely Furcasting is an Injured Nerve studio production and is found on all major podcast platforms or can be heard directly at barelyfurcasting.com. The opinions expressed here are those of the hosts and their guests, and no commercial compensation was granted. The Furcast is produced, recorded and directed by Barely Normal, aka Mike Began, and is edited by Barely and our associate editor Rayne Raccoon. Opening and closing theme music, as well as some interstitial music, was created for Injured Nerves Productions for the use on the podcast by Reg Day with Damian Tanuki. If you would like to hear more music by Reg Day, you can search for Tweezerbeak on Bandcamp or Hoop Loop Tunes on SoundCloud. Other interstitial and background music by Shane Ivers through silvermansound.com, Gator Tots on soundcloud.com, and the YouTube Free is Library. If you would like to send us a message, you can do so via email at barelyfurcasting@gmail.com, or on our Telegram chat at BFFT chat, on Twitter, on our Facebook page, or on the barelyfurcasting.com webpage. You can help support the show through donations at kofi.com/barelyfurcasting or through Patreon at patreon.com/barelyfurcasting. Thanks for listening. We hope you come back and listen next week.